Good morning. What a peaceful morning it is. Gee. About 4 months ago now, I had one of the worst experiences of my life. Coming off one of the best, or what I thought was one of the best experiences of my life. I was running a business online, was pulling in $40,000 profit a month. And everything came crashing down. I was running a business that was not true to me. I was completely copying somebody else. And I was able to cut myself a little slither because the market was big enough. And it allowed me to fit. I was able to profit from a large enough market and by just copying somebody else. And the whole time I was riddled with anxiety. I didn't feel right doing it. I knew in my heart that it wasn't right. I got the opportunity too easily. I also received a bit of help for it to get it started. And the universe quickly took that shit away from me. And the reason why that is because I was not a $40,000 per month person at the time. My internal reality did not match the external reality. And even though I was bringing in that type of money per month, I hadn't done the true work that was required to be bringing in those numbers. I wasn't running a business that was integral to me, to what I stand for. And I paid for it. And the whole time, I knew it wasn't right. And so, I ended up turning to drugs and substances, because when all you have is money and time and no need to work, and you feel dodgy about what you're doing, you quickly result to doing not the best activities. And so that's what I ended up doing. I ended up going on the merry-go-round of substance abuse, and yeah, the universe quickly took away my business. And the experience was actually horrifying, because when you have a lot of money is an exaggerator. So anything that happens while you have lots of money, it's just amplified tenfold. And it was a very scary experience, because it literally felt like my life at the time was ending. And that lifestyle was ending. I was coming off some heavy substances that were terrible, that are just terrible for your psyche. I was having seizures and was just in a really dark place. Physically, mentally, was just breaking down. Was completely broken. And I was on the verge of having a mental breakdown nearly every second of the day for about 2 weeks. It was like living in a fucking waking nightmare. And my friend, who is dedicated to religion, came, and I just hopped in the car with him and got the fuck out of here. I had to get away from my house. I had to leave the environment where I was festering in for months. And that was the best thing I could have done. Lived in an ashram for a week. Yeah, it was good, but fuck, it was still horrifying being in the ashram, because I just couldn't find a moment of relief from the trauma of the experience. I couldn't find any peace. And that's all I wanted. I just wanted a moment, at least, of peace and realizing everything's going to be okay. And I didn't get that until I actually came home and faced the trauma. I came home and went into my room and felt scared, lonely, afraid, just completely terrified. I was a little bitch boy. And I felt like I couldn't face it. I felt like I had to run away. I felt like I had to go back to the ashram. But the moment I just sacked it up, tried to get some sleep, which was minimal, and woke up that next morning, that was the first moment of true relief. I felt like, oh, I'm gonna get through this. I'm okay. The whole time I thought like I might need therapy, I might need to go to a fucking rehab or whatever. I was down and bad, the worst I've ever been in my life. It was absolutely terrifying. But once I went back into the trauma-filled environment and then started to create new memories, the trauma very quickly left. So that was interesting. And it was an overall very interesting experience. It taught me a lot about money, because my whole identity up until that point was so shaped around money. I had been broke for so many years, and the pain of being broke just bothered me so much. So I pedestalized money, and it fucked me. Because the moment I started to make that money, first of all, I didn't make it honestly. I didn't make it true to me. I didn't actually nurture my customers. I completely neglected my customers. I completely fucked up the business, because the business was not true to who I am and what I have to offer the world. And so when I just got given a good opportunity and capitalized on it and didn't feel right about it, and then just continued to grow it still, even though not feeling right about it, yeah, the money came in, but I learned that money is just completely irrelevant to actually what I truly want. And what I truly want is freedom. And money is an equation. Money is part of the equation if you want freedom, yes. But it's not everything. And that was a big lesson for me. That was a massive lesson for me, and I'm very glad it happened. Because now I don't really care about money so much. It's not money that I need to be free. Now, I still know money is important, absolutely, but that's not the most important thing. It really just isn't. And I would rather get rich slowly than as fast as possible. When you're broke and you're in a bad position, all you want is to have millions, be at the end of the road. But I know that's not. I don't care anymore, and I have money, so I'm cruising. I don't really care, and really, we just want fulfillment. We want freedom. We want to do what's true to us. We want to do the activities that we actually want to do every day. The hard ones, the easy ones, the ones that come easy to us. Yeah, we want to do all these things. So the message to this video is, if you're trying to get rich, you need to drop the idea that money is the main thing that you need. And you need to understand that you're dreaming of something because you have a lack of something. And that might not be your true desire. If you have a lack of money, then of course you're going to dream of an abundance of money. But then think about what you're actually going to do when that abundance of money comes into your life. Another important lesson here is you need to become the kind of person that makes 20,000 a month, 40,000 a month, 100K a month. You need to become that type of person internally first. And then if you become that person internally, start doing the daily actions every day that person would do. Start thinking the way that person would think. Start giving the way that person would give. And start helping other people and actually create a business that's true to yourself, and do it slowly in the right timing. Then eventually the external environment is going to match your internal reality. So the universe quickly takes things away if we haven't truly earned them, or if we have scammed, or if we have made something that wasn't true to ourselves. The universe very quickly corrects what is wrong. And it's just the way it works, cause and effect. There's an equal and opposite reaction to every single thing we do. So if you're scamming, if you're trying to make quick money that isn't really helping anybody or isn't really true to yourself, or if you're just in it for the money and you're not actually thinking about the big picture here, then you're kind of just lost, and eventually you're going to learn that it's not the way to go about it, and you might either learn the hard way or you can learn the easy way. It's up to you. But it really is true. I want to hammer this home, because whatever you're thinking of, whatever's going on internally, if you stick at that long enough, if you sharpen that first, if you turn the dial on your internal reality, on the frequency in your mind, your body, your soul, improve your health, improve your physicality, improve your mindset, improve the way you interact with people, you get what you give. So eventually, if you do all this, if you retune the frequency within your mind, and then you stay at it, and you stay patient, and you keep that strong belief, eventually everything externally will match up. But you're gonna realize that the external does not fucking matter, and all that matters is the internal. So I want you to imagine who you're gonna be so viscerally. I want you to imagine how you're gonna feel, where you're gonna live, who's gonna be in your life, how you're gonna make other people feel. I want you to imagine literally every single detail, what you're going to be eating, how often you're going to be going to the gym and exercising and doing your shit, what activities you're going to be doing in the day. I want you to imagine this version of yourself, the best version of yourself, and feel it. And then start to live like that person. You have to start living like that person and carry the belief that everything is going to change, and you know it, and you can feel it. And eventually, everything does change. And you're going to realize that that doesn't really matter. Because all that really matters is how you feel internally. All that really matters is that you're doing right by yourself and by others. Truthfully. So, I know you might be broke, or you might be struggling with girls, or whatever it is you're struggling. Maybe your family's not in a good place. Whatever it is. That is evoking emotion out of you and making you want something. But you don't just want that one thing. You want a life of balance, and you want a whole life. You want all the areas in your life that matter to be ticked off. So don't get distracted by the idea of wanting to become a millionaire just because you're broke. You need to imagine the best version of you now, with all that money and with everything else that comes with it. Change the frequency inside, and externally everything is going to follow. And I'm not telling you when it will, because time is a beautiful thing. You can't control it, and it just happens when it's right. It happens when it's meant to happen. If it takes 10 years, it takes 10 years. What's the big deal? What's the rush? What are you rushing for, man? What's the rush? There's no rush. Be in the moment. You can be fulfilled and happy right now, even with the little that you have. Just change the internal. Change the internal. People will probably comment saying, "Oh, how do you change? You can't just change your internal. How do you do that? How do you do that?" It's not really something that you can teach. You have to kind of teach yourself. You have to learn to start listening to yourself. Learn to start listening to your heart. When you're about to choose from two decisions, think about how you're going to feel when you go down each of those decisions. Imagine how you're going to feel. And you will know what the right decision is. You always know. It's really about being still, being present, and starting to actually listen to yourself rather than listening to the external environment around you, rather than listening to the phone, rather than listening to what people are projecting onto you through their value system. It's really about listening to who you are. And it's really not that hard. The moment you become silent and still with yourself is the moment you can start to hear what you truly want. God whispers. Are you still enough to listen to it? Are you quiet enough in your being to listen to it? No? Then get to work. It's another beautiful day. Just enjoy the day, man. Just enjoy the day. We're here. We're alive. Everything's good. You have everything that you need right now. You have everything you need to be happy right now, and you have everything you need to change your life and become the person that you want to become right now. Otherwise, you wouldn't be alive. You wouldn't be here. Take that on board. Peace, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.